peak ARR is the pumpkin quest and the cheese quest. Hi, and welcome back to Quest Markers. On this show, we talk about video games and the stories they tell. My name is Marina. My pronouns are she, her. I'm an artist, video game composer, audio engineer, and your host. Today, we're back with another side quest episode. This is our more casual, chit-chatty segment, and today we're going to be talking about games that we're currently playing. Quick spoiler warning, we'll be talking about Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, the latest Paper Mario remake, and Final Fantasy XIV. As always, everything will be timestamped so you can hop around. And our guest today is a returning guest. We have the ever wonderful Ren, who's a leader in the games industry. I'm very lucky to call her a friend, and I'm so excited that you get to hear from her again because I learn something new from her every day. Thank you for being here, and let's get into it. Hello, Ren. How are you?
Hello. I'm so excited to be here, as usual. Guess who's back? Back again.
She's
Guess
back.
Who's back? Tell your friends.
How are you? We're starting on a chaotic level. I love it.
I know.
This.
I'm so sorry I interrupted your
No.
intro.
This is so good.
I was like, every day? Oh my gosh.
Every single day. If I don't learn from you every single day, then I need to text you at 11:55 p.m. to be like, Ren, teach me something.
Well, you know, that would only make me more excited. So that's a good thing.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. It is very warm where I am, but we stay silly. We stay cool. We hide in the shade.
Hell yeah. I love this for you. It's also very warm where I am, and I turned my fans off for the recording. So
I hope we do not recover the dried up remains of Marina later.
And anything above anything above 18 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Hold on, Celsius to
it's probably pretty hot.
Fahrenheit. It's really not. Anything above 65 is too hot, in my opinion.
That's fair. Fair. It's just gradually becomes less and less comfortable.
Yeah. Yep. I can't do it. But I have an iced decaf with me. So that's going to keep me cool, hopefully. My ice is melting. I can see it.
Whoa.
What are you drinking tonight?
I have, I don't actually know if this is what it's called. This is what I call it. It's called a Jamaica. It's like hibiscus drink.
Ooh.
It is very tasty. I like mine very sweet, almost to the point where it's like a syrup that you have to water down. It's very good. Very, very highly recommended.
That sounds delicious. I want to go get rose syrup for my coffees. Ooh. I need to do that tomorrow.
That sounds so nice. It sounds very luxurious.
Yeah. Because I make coffee at home. So I'm like, well, I'm saving money on coffee. So I can go get rose syrup.
Yeah. I like that. That's how you balance it out.
Yeah, exactly. Would you like to please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Ren. If you've listened to Quest Markers before, I have introduced myself previously as a casual enjoyer of Metroid.
True. Can confirm.
I lost the train of thought because I got excited about Metroid once again. But I use she, her pronouns. Currently, I work as a localizer for mobile games. I love my job. It's really fun. It gives me a lot of time to think about games, think about mechanics. I have a really fantastic team. And I love talking about games with Marina because Marina is such a knowledgeable, thoughtful person when it comes to games and all their elements and the things that either go into them or what kind of reactions they stir up in the community. All dimensions of games. I love talking about them with you, my friend.
That is so kind. Be right back. I need to cry and then come back. Thank you. That's so kind.
Why are you so surprised?
I don't know.
It's true.
That's very kind. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to have you on today because we're going to talk about a myriad of games and we're going to end it. But this is probably going to be the biggest segment. We're going to end it with Final Fantasy XIV because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That you're playing.
Oh, wait till I tell everybody my character's name.
Oh,
it's going to be real good. Tune in for that.
It's incredible. But I figure we can start with, maybe we go back and forth. So we can start with one game that you're currently playing and then toss it between each other until we eventually get to Final Fantasy XIV, if that sounds good.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. Excellent.
In that case, tell me about your adventures in Animal Crossing because you've had a summer bucket list in that game, which I love.
I am so glad that you have been so supportive of it. Because it felt like the most arbitrary goal I could possibly set for myself. And it was actually a lot more difficult than I expected it to be.
No.
It is okay, though, because I can say definitively, as of this Sunday, I completed it.
And let's go.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of myself. It was truly dedication that got me through. But my goal for the summer was to craft every single mermaid item that Gulliver, is it Gulliver? No, what's his name? The little otter, Pascal. It's every single mermaid item that Pascal can give you that can be crafted.
That is a lot.
It was a lot. It was, I think what I underestimated was not the gathering of the materials for it, because that part's easy. I want to say it's like 6 or 7, maybe closer to 8 or 9 furniture items that have this like beautiful rosy pink hue, and it's like pearlescent, light blue and pink furniture items that look like they're on the ocean floor. You get like a pearl from Pascal every time he finds you. I shouldn't say every time because it's actually just RNG. But you can also just get materials for it by walking around on the sand and picking up shells from the beach. So that part was not difficult.
Can you? Oh, I didn't know that.
Because half the crafting is like a certain amount of pearls per item, and then the other half is just shells that you find on the beach.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you get the pearls from Pascal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or if you're very lucky, you can find one on the seafloor.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's, I think what I underestimated was it was a daily occurrence. I would log in every day and I would empty out my pockets from the day before and I would have just like tons of sea creatures in there and I'd dump them all in the shop selling box. And then I would throw on my wetsuit and run straight to the ocean and just start picking up the little blobs that move around on the ocean floor. And it would, if I was lucky, I'd get it like within 2 or 3 tries. But there were a good number of days. There was like a solid week where it would take about an hour of just swimming up and down. I found out that if you want to like stay kind of in the middle of each little section around your island, it's about 8 to 9 presses of the A button. And then you start turning towards the other direction.
But that's just the item collection too. That's not even getting the like crafting cards.
That's right. Yeah. Because
I can hear the pain behind your face.
In order to get the crafting card, you need to find a scallop on the seafloor, and then Pascal will like pop out of the ether and be like, "Oh, can I have it?" And you have to take care to say yes. It's hard to say no, but you have to make sure you say yes. He'll be like, "Oh, thanks," and he'll leave you something in your pocket for being cool, and then he'll be like, I got to drop some wisdom on you. And then he says like the most amazing like wisdom you can possibly imagine.
Wait, like what? What's an example?
One of my favorite ones was like, oh wait, I got to look one up real quick. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. Wait, while you're looking for that, what's your favorite Animal Crossing design character?
Ooh, I love Molly. Molly is S tier. Molly is so cute. She's a little duck and she's short. She's a normal villager. She calls you Quackity by default.
Oh, that's so cute. I love Bob, but I love Bob for the memes.
Bob does have one of the most memeable, like, best just faces in general.
It's so good.
Yeah, can't forget our boy Bob.
No, can't forget Bob. Bob had so many memes. If I search Animal Crossing Bob memes, yeah, I mean, immediately you get like the most Bob faces. That's so funny. Everyone who's listening to this, you should Google Animal Crossing Bob memes. Thank me later.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, you were looking something up.
Okay, I have my favorite piece of wisdom from Pascal.
Ah, yeah. What is it?
It is, folks keep telling me my shirt was on inside out the other day, but man, I was dressing for me, not them.
Look, he gets it.
He does. He really does. And then he always ends with, today is a good day. And then he just swims off. And you're like, thank you for blessing me with your little presents. It's so good.
That is so cute.
10 out of 10. That was what made all the hunting every day very bearable. I always looked forward to seeing Pascal.
Pascal's the MVP.
Truly.
I haven't played Animal Crossing in a bit, but I'm getting that itch again where I'm like, oh, I want to redo my island.
I know what you mean.
Well, my island's not nearly as gorgeous as yours. You have so many, oh my God, you have so many like tourist attractions, and
Too kind.
you have like entire fruit farms, and there's like beautiful paths and everything's custom. And mine is just like cool random things that I have found.
Well, let me give you the piece of advice that a friend gave me when I was first starting my decoration, because mine, like everybody, starts with cool random object, and I get my decorations from Santa Claus for Christmas, and you just kind of like get what you get, you just toss it on the island.
Pretty much.
What I was told was, think of each little section as like a mini Lego set. Like you don't need a whole cohesive theme on your island. At least you don't need to start with one as you're gathering all your items.
I like that.
Just carve out little patches of land, and that's how you end up with like my mini library, where it's like all purple hyacinth, and then like the mini library in a chair, and then it's cute.
Yeah, I mean, your island is S tier.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you. I am very excited for you to potentially get into like an Animal Crossing craving and come back.
It's I can feel it. Like all I want to do this weekend is veg out and play games.
It's perfect. It's like a Zen sandbox at that point.
Exactly. I could do that, or I could finish the Elden Ring DLC, which I've been meaning to finish.
Mm-hmm. Please tell me more. I love hearing about your Elden Ring adventures with Onion Ring.
With Onion Ring? Yeah. So my tarnish is called Onion Ring. She's she's very strong. Yeah, Onion Ring's great. She's having a good time. I'm at the final boss. I've made like probably only 2 attempts. But the last couple of weeks have just been pretty busy. So I'm like, okay, I don't really have time to go and explore and level up a little bit more before I come back. But it's been really good because I feel like I'm playing properly this time, like quote unquote properly. So Elden Ring was my first Souls game. And I didn't know that so much of the story is told in like the environment and the architecture and also the item descriptions. And so, and every item description has lore about, who may have owned it or the history of the item and things like that. And it's so nice playing knowing that now, because I'm like, oh, I can actually follow the lore from start to finish in the DLC. So that's been really good, but it also feels more like a sequel and not a DLC. It is
interesting.
Massive. It's massive. Well, I know your partner played it. I don't know if he feels the same.
I mean, my own experience with his playthrough has just been a lot of yelling. So I am I'm very eager to hear, about how massive it is and what makes it so much bigger and making it feel like a sequel.
I was not expecting going into a DLC to have the amount of bosses that there are and the amount of different environments and places to explore and the amount of side quests. And I feel like they also, they had a narrative that was a little more, a little less in the shadows, I should say, because a lot of Elden Ring's narrative is kind of like, if you don't read the item descriptions and you're not taking care to read everything that NPCs tell you, you're going to miss a lot of the story. But yeah, which is interesting. But here they have NPCs that before you even enter the DLC, you have to talk to an NPC to enter the DLC. And then there's a few NPCs that are kind of recurring and they have quests and you really get a lot of story there. So that's been really cool to see. But the music has also been phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Like just so good. And I mean, Elden Ring has incredible boss themes, but I feel like they really outdid themselves in the DLC. There's I'll send it to you after, or you may have heard them actually, but there's a boss called the Divine Beast Dancing Lion, and just has like the most incredible music. I was like, I don't even care how many times this takes me. I'm just here for the vibes.
Sometimes that can make or break a boss fight, you know, even if you hate the mechanics, the music can make it a lot more enjoyable.
Totally. Yeah. Or Mesmer also had incredible music, and there was so much sadness in Mesmer's theme as well, which really worked with his character, and yeah, just really good. And then environmentally, there's a place called Bellarat that has just a really haunting theme, and you really come in and you see the first little bit of the environment and you're like, oh my God, there's something so haunting about this place. And it's clear that there's so much history here and what happened. And that kind of pulls you in to be like, well, here you go, explore, figure out what happened, put the story together.
It sounds almost like a mystery, kind of like it's something you're trying to put together and uncover.
Yeah. It is. It's really, really felt like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Excellent DLC. Just fantastic.
I'm curious about, I know you haven't finished the final boss, but I guess my own curiosity as somebody who has never played Elden Ring, because I just get too tilted. I cannot do it. I do not have the patience you have. I am so in awe of you.
Oh, no. My whole strategy is just be way overpowered and then go in when it's doable.
Hey, it works.
It works. Onion Ring is strong.
She's so strong. She's iconic. My question is more like, do you feel like the narrative is marching towards something triumphant, kind of like how I imagined the ending of the original game to feel as you're becoming the Elden Lord? Or does it not feel as triumphant? Does it feel like just kind of I'm just curious what your take on the ending is, or like the narrative so far compared to the original game?
Ooh. There's a side quest where you meet, I'm not going to spoil the final boss, but I will. Is it okay to spoil you on characters that are in the DLC?
Oh, yeah, I'm not powerful enough to play it.
You are. No, you are.
Okay, I do not have the patience to play it. Says the woman who spent hours trawling the ocean every day.
Yeah, exactly. I would argue that it takes more patience to collect all the mermaid items in Animal Crossing than to play Elden Ring, and that's not hyperbolic.
To each their own. I don't have to dodge anything in Animal Crossing. Let's put it that way.
That's reasonable.
Just the bees.
I think it's moving towards something pretty chilling, because going into the DLC, so Elden Ring's whole story is about the gods and the demigods of the lands between, the demigods being the children of a god. And you get to explore and understand every demigod's history in the base game, and you fight all the demigods except Miquella. And so this demigod Miquella has been this, really mysterious figure this whole time. The only thing we really knew about Miquella was that they were cursed with eternal youth. But as you enter the DLC, which is it's called the Realm of Shadow, you find these. They're called crosses of Miquella, where Miquella is leaving behind parts of themselves, and in one part, there's a cross that says, "I leave behind my love." And then you find someone named Saint Trina in that dungeon or that cave. And people always speculated that Miquella and Saint Trina were one person. And, you can kind of interpret this however you want, which is what I love about Souls lore. But when you talk to Saint Trina, and if you exhaust all of Saint Trina's dialogue, Saint Trina says, "Go kill Miquella."
Oh.
And so I feel like it's marching towards a very chilling end. And I don't know what the end is, but yeah, it's it's so good. The way that it's done is really excellent. I mean, the voice acting is so good, and
Oh, yeah. Such a masterpiece. Yeah.
yeah, it's so clear that they put so much care into it. And for a DLC, again, like to be this big and to,
Yeah.
FromSoft just does such a good job in putting so much thought and care and craft into what they do. It's so good. But speaking of game updates, let's talk about Stardew Valley, because you're playing 1.6.
Yes. Speaking of lots of care and love going into a game that was already a masterpiece, in my opinion, to begin with, the latest update has just been such a treat. It's so nice. It's similar. I know you haven't played Stardew Valley.
It's one of those games where if I start, I don't think I'm ever going to end. Like, it's just going to consume my life.
No, I agree. So I know you haven't played Stardew Valley, and it is one of those things where I definitely caution you against joining it before you have, hours upon hours to sink into the game.
Fair.
But this is one of those games that I also just come back to. I return to it. I take a break, and every time I come back to it, it feels like coming home again. That's just how wonderful and masterful it is. And for a time, I think there was a team working on it, but for the most part, it's just been one developer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing, huge devotion, truly like a masterful work of art. And so with this update, they have introduced, they haven't redone anything particularly like game breaking, but they've added so much. Every update is so additive, and it's so just enjoyable to play because you feel like you're getting to know somebody on a different level that you knew already. Like you're just seeing these new dimensions of this town, all these people that you knew. My favorite thing so far has been like the little surprise, I would say like weather events. I haven't gotten very far into the update. We've only gotten into summer of year one with the friends that I've been playing with. But like one of the updates is like one night you wake up and it's raining and everything's green and all these things are growing all over the town and everybody's huddling inside and it feels almost like a natural disaster, but not, because everybody's just kind of like, what's going on? Why are all these plants growing all over the town? So this update has introduced a lot of very like fantastical and exciting elements to the game that first just kind of felt like, farming simulator, you walk around, you get to know all these people, you can romance them all if you're like me. So it's nice, it's surprising, it's fresh, it's very zingy. There's lots of new locations too, like there's a guy who sells books and he appears some interval, I want to say every Friday, maybe every other Friday. And the books are, if you've, been playing a long time, you can spend a lot of your hard-earned gold on things like run faster, like +1 speed permanently, or like plus proficiency. I found out today, this is a spoiler, but I found out today there's like a secret area behind the like the library sort of area where you can like walk through a fence and then there's a golden trash can, and if you can open it you get like an increased chance to find items in the trash cans around town.
I love
stuff like that. So it's like incentivizing you to not only start a new playthrough, but also continue with maybe the one you have that's in like year 5 and you've just been playing it this whole time. It's really nice.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm going to have to pick up Stardew Valley.
Well, I think you'll love it because it's concerned in the Stardew Valley development, like just straight up took suggestions and like worked with modders to incorporate mods into the game to make it like vanilla. So that's, I think, where the bookseller came from.
Oh, that's so cool.
Stuff like that. So it's really neat. It's just such a nice game to come home to every couple of months, years. It always feels really nice.
I love that. And I'm surprised that it's still being updated because isn't there another game coming from that dev team? It's like a haunted chocolate shop?
Yeah, Haunted Chocolatier, I think, is the next one. It looks really different, but I'm excited. I want to try it. I will try anything that comes out of this development team. They've won me over.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference between Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing?
I feel like if you've seen stuff on the internet, you've probably seen memes or like images and things like that about Stardew Valley. I would say The main difference for me is that you can really customize a playthrough in ways that you can't in Animal Crossing. In Animal Crossing, you can decorate your island any way you want, but you can't decide that you're going to make a character that's going to like romance the emo guy who lives in his mom's basement and then spend all your time in the mines. I have an original character. Her name is Red.
Nice.
Because my name is Ren and her name's Red. She has bright red hair, and I decided I was going full on like mermaid with her. I love the ocean, as you can tell. So I was like, she's going to be a fisher. She's going to romance the guy who lives on the beach. I was able to invent this persona for her and like flesh out this character for her in a way that I could never do in Animal Crossing beyond just like downloading a custom pattern.
Yeah.
So I would say if you like Animal Crossing, I wouldn't say it's the same but more, but I would say there are a lot of elements that are really similar that are like kind of the heightened version of it. And that's what I find really appealing.
I feel like the thing that I miss about the original Animal Crossing is that your town / village / island had so much personality in the original one. I think you had just a town.
Oh, yeah. Mine was called Town 37. I couldn't think of anything else to call it, so I just had Town 37.
Hell yeah. I don't remember what my original Animal Crossing town was called, but I do remember it having so much personality and the NPCs having so much personality and sending you on quests and there being drama and gossip and they were mean sometimes. And that was the charm of Animal Crossing. I mean, obviously there was still paying off your mortgage, and paying off your mortgage, best game mechanic, and upgrading your home, decorating your home. There's still that kind of level of customization, at least for your home, but the rest of the town, there wasn't. And so the lifeblood to me of the original Animal Crossing was all the characters. And that's maybe what Stardew Valley leaned into, of like having a really rich cast that New Horizons doesn't have, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Even the baseline of Stardew Valley, even that base story, there's drama. There's like a potential, like a fair child. There's like people who like come back in the second year of the calendar year that you play in. There's, there's romances. There's people like getting together. You get a series of heart events with every single townsperson. I shouldn't say every single, but most of them. You get like heart events as you get to know them, and you get like these really cute little cutscenes or like heart-wrenching cutscenes for some of them. So the narrative is definitely a lot stronger. It's definitely more like that Animal Crossing personality that was in the original game.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I love games like that in general. And this is a really good segue into my next game, if that's okay.
Of course.
I just finished the remake of Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door, and it is so cheeky. It is so sarcastic. They've got fourth wall breaks. Like, it's all Mario characters, but they don't feel like Mario characters. Like, this is not a kid's game at all.
Wow. How did they manage that?
The developer wasn't Nintendo. Nintendo published it. The developer was Intelligent Systems, and I suspect that's probably why. I don't know how they managed to get Mario IP and still get published by Nintendo for a game amazing. It has so much personality. And my favorite dynamic, I think, was probably between, Bowser's in it, and Bowser's like first lieutenant is Kammy Koopa. And when you first meet Bowser in the game, like he comes into this castle, he's like, "I've been summoned by Kammy, that crusty old hag. Where is she?" And then a guard goes, the crusty old hag isn't here, sir. And it's just like, you would not expect that from a Nintendo game at all. But then, right? but then anytime that Kammy and Bowser are on screen together, Kammy is always like, "Yes, your massiveness. Yes, your putridness." Like, just calls him these like ridiculous things. And it's so good and has so much personality. And even Princess Peach, the plot, a big plot point is Princess Peach gets kidnapped again. but she addresses it head on and goes, man, I guess I got kidnapped again. I guess everyone's worried about me again. Like, it's it knows exactly what it is. And it has so much personality, and all of your companion characters, it's a turn-based combat game, and all of your companion characters have so much personality, and they're all so different. And yeah, it's so good. The characters are really the lifeblood of that game. I think the character that had the least amount of personality is probably Mario. Like, Mario just gives a thumbs up. Yeah. But everyone around Mario is just so full of life. It's so good.
It sounds like they really figured out what kind of tone they wanted to set, and they were like very firmly sitting there. They were like, this is where we're going to be. And they committed with every single character, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, they really, really did. And they did a really, really good job. Just so charming. The art direction is incredible. I mean, when the original Paper Mario came out, we didn't see anything like it. It was so cool, especially at that time. So yeah, the remake, fantastic. Very much enjoyed it. Would recommend.
This makes me want to try it.
It's quite good.
I've only played the one where there's like stars. I don't know if that's helping at all.
You may have played the original Thousand Year Door. This is actually my entire experience playing Thousand Year Door. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've played this game. And then as things happen, I'm like, yeah, I remember this. And then I'll be like, I don't remember this. Because it came out 20 years ago.
No, I played Origami King.
Oh, okay.
That was the one.
I've not played Origami King, but how was it?
I enjoyed it. I felt like it was similarly kind of cheeky. I never finished it though. And so now this makes me want to go and play the Thousand Year Door and then play Origami King.
It's quite good. It's about like 35 hours too. It's a pretty big game.
Oh, that's a decent size. Yeah.
They did a good job. You know who else did a good job?
Who, I wonder?
Square Enix did a great job with Final Fantasy XIV.
They really did. They really did.
Well, okay, so you just finished A Realm Reborn from the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, which has a free trial that includes the award-winning Heaven's Word and Stormblood expansions until level 70 with no limit on playtime. Mm-hmm. What did you think about A Realm Reborn? I know that's such a big question, but I'm so curious to get your thoughts because we ran the last dungeon together.
We did. I'm so grateful for your help.
Oh my God.
I didn't have to do it with randos because you helped me.
Are you kidding? I'm so excited. I'm just so excited that you're playing FF14. You've had a little bit of time to digest. Yeah. I'm so keen to get your thoughts.
Well, I work with MMOs a lot. Not as much recently. But when I was first starting out at my job, some of the big things that I was doing was just testing MMOs, helping localize MMOs. And I gotta say, this one is really well done. It's just so consistent in its writing and the storyline, even though it was like a little slow to start. I distinctly remember at one point we were all hanging out and somebody was like, "What are you doing, Ren?" And I was like, "I gotta get some pumpkins. Gotta collect some pumpkins." And they were like, "Yeah, that's some real hero shit right there."
Absolutely. Peak ARR is the pumpkin quest and the cheese quest.
I was so mad. I was like, "Really? You're giving me cheese?"
It's so funny.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage, truly.
It definitely is.
I took a bunch of screenshots of my character at like the end of that. And this was when I still accidentally had the Tonberry glamour stuck to my armor. So it's just a bunch of screenshots of the little Tonberry eating their little reward feast. And they're just staring. They're just looking. It's really silly.
I love that.
But it's just, overall, I'd say it's really beautifully done. I can see how they're starting to really hit their stride narratively. And I think consistently, they've also just been really good at establishing feel and tone and like setting. Setting is so well defined here in every single city, every venue that I visit.
I very much agree with that. And to your point, I mean, obviously I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I'm currently playing Dawn Trail and I'm about probably a quarter in. I'm loving it. I'm trying to take my time, even though I want to speedrun it really bad. But having now played ARR, Heaven's Word, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and now Dawn Trail, what's ahead is, and you're already noticing it, is like they're starting to hit their narrative stride. They're starting to figure out, where do we want to take these characters? What stories do we want to tell? And I cannot wait. I know I've said this before, but oh man, I can't wait for you to get to Shadowbringers because, and I had a friend tell me this before I started ARR, and he said, Shadowbringers and Endwalker is the best Final Fantasy story. And I was like, it's an MMO. There's, what do you mean? And I was coming from the perspective of, I grew up playing MMOs, but I didn't play any narrative MMOs. I just enjoyed being, in a world with other players. And, there's, you probably know this better than me, but there's this concept of like playing alone together, even if you're not, actively playing with friends, just seeing other people around makes the world feel more lived in, more rich. Obviously you can interact with other characters, and I loved that. And so coming into an MMO, not expecting really a story, and then getting to, Shadowbringers and Endwalker, where I'm crying my eyes out. Oh, just so good. So good.
It's funny that you say that I might know like that concept of playing alone together. Most of my experience in MMOs has actually just been entirely alone, because when you're testing, it's just you on the test server and you're running around, you're all powerful. There's no resistance to getting anything. You get all the money, all the classes, you can switch at will, you can go anywhere you want. So it was really refreshing actually to join this little world and, show up in Limsa Lominsa and you see all the Popitos just dancing. There's like a line of them and they just dance. Or like you're in Ul'dah and you're next to somebody who's just got like the goofiest name. I think the other day there was like a Lord Cowboy or something. Absolutely just such a good example of such a sweet, wholesome community. I got to tell you what happened to my partner the other day. Did I tell you about the Gil, the mystery?
Oh, you did. Wait, tell the story again, because this is like the most FF14 thing ever.
I was so jealous because my partner likes to play at like 3 a.m. Just one of those things when you can't sleep and you just want some company, but nobody else is awake. And he was recounting this story to me, and he and I are saving up to buy a room in our free company house. So we need 300,000 Gil. And so he was telling me about how he was kind of completing the quests of something alongside another player. And they were, fighting something. So he would like kind of go and help and fight them because he was DPSing, and they would fight and they would, kind of dance around to each other. And then they would go to like the next thing and they were just fighting and very quietly, no real communication exchanged. And then at the end of the session, I guess the other player was ready to log off, and they were like, thanks for playing with me, and tried to initiate a trade. And my partner tried to run away because he did not know that they were trying to trade something to him. And so they're like, no. And they follow him and they initiate the trade again. And they dropped like, I don't know the exact amount, but it was like 1 million, I think, Gil. Just like dropped it in his pocket. And he was like, oh, wholesome hours. It was so sweet. And it just felt like the community is so supportive to new players, which is something that really pulled me in. Everybody's so nice when you're in a new dungeon and you have no idea where you're going, or drop in a mill on you when you just because they can. So it's, props to that stranger. Thank you for financing our room in the free company.
That's so sweet.
It was such a wholesome story to, wake up and see such a big smile on his face. Be like, I got 1 million Gil just for playing yesterday.
Oh, that really is such a FF14 thing to happen. And then people want to help players when they're an end game. Like I'm constantly like, and I know plenty of people who do the same. It's like, oh, if you see someone who is brand new and you examine their character and you see they're like, level 5 just started. They're like starting to attune to Aetherites in their home city. Yeah. And it's like, man, I hope I can trade with them, because you can't trade with people on a free trial. But then for the ones that you can trade with, I'm like, here's 100,000 Gil. Yeah. Go forth, fly. Or like giving them a minion or something. Because I remember the feeling of people doing that for me, and I thought it was so nice. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that when I can. What What a great story. It's so good. Gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Oh, it's just so wholesome. It makes me want to spend more time in the game, like alongside all of the beautiful scenery and fantastic narrative. Like, I do enjoy the mounts quite a bit.
What's your favorite mount that you have?
I know you were very curious to hear like my thoughts on the story and the battles and stuff, but I'm over here like I like the mounts and I like naming my character something ridiculous.
I want to talk about what mounts you love, and then I didn't even ask you. I mean, I know what you play, but we should talk about your Warrior of Light. But before we do, tell me about your favorite mount that you have. I don't even know what it is.
I would have to say it is the sentient Cocoa Puff that you got for free. Like at the time that we're recording, you can still get it, but you watch Twitch and you get a free Cocoa Puff with a little bow on its head. And I was telling a friend today that like, as much as it goes forward, it also goes vertically and side to side. Like it's just like bouncing and swinging you around as you walk.
It's so cute.
And I have paid mounts. I have mounts that I've unlocked through the game, but no, this free sentient Cocoa Puff is my favorite. It is so silly.
It's so cute. The little bow is so cute.
The bow is very, very good. Yeah.
I have a fat cat mount and it's my favorite thing in the world.
I love seeing the fat cat mounts and the fat cats in the game because they remind me of you.
I love them so much. Yep. I have a fat cat minion. I just, all the way. I need to get a fat cat plushie is really what I need.
I think so. I think that's your next task. Yeah.
I agree.
It'll massively improve your game.
100%. I just want to play 14 now, but
I do too.
We'll play FF14 after we finish recording.
Perfect. So excited.
Me too. Please tell everyone about your Warrior of Light.
All right, everybody. So I started off as a tank gladiator. Yes, gladiator. And now I'm a paladin. And thank you to your partner for crafting me some really sick armor and weapons.
He loves crafting.
I looked like a nutcracker before you rescued me. It was bad. We were making comparisons to that Pokemon called Bisharp. It was bad. It was very bad.
Let me, hold on.
Please look up this Pokemon.
Bisharp.
And then you will say, oh, that's the armor that your character had.
Oh, yeah. That actually genuinely is the armor.
Isn't it? It was bad. It was not good armor. You just have a cutscene and it was just a suit of armor looking at you.
That's the ARR experience.
Yeah. So I play a paladin now. She's an Ora. She's maxed out to the tallest height a female Ora can be, which is very short.
Same.
Yep. We are twinsies. Her name is, drumroll please. Her name is Blue Dabba-dee Dabba-da.
Anytime you log in and I see Blue Dabba-dee Dabba-da has logged in, it's so funny.
The best is lately I've been trying to ascend in the Grand Company.
Oh yeah, and they call you like Lieutenant Dabba-dee Dabba-da.
Yes. For a while it was Sergeant Dabba-dee Dabba-da, and I was like, "You all right there, buddy? That's a lot of syllables."
It's a lot of syllables.
It truly is. But I was inspired. I originally named her, I think, Gozen Fushiguro, which is like an actual Japanese warrior from back in the day. And it was a really good story, but I did not feel connected to this character in a way that made me excited to play. So as I was coming back to 14, I paid the $10 for a name change, and I was sitting and thinking very hard about what kind of name would bring me joy every time I saw it. And then the song came on, like on shuffle. I was like, of course. And then it felt really good to have your, like, people in dungeons will be like, Blue, like, you need to go this way. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's me. That feels like me.
I love that. I didn't know the origin story, actually. I didn't realize that the song started playing, and I love that you have it on a playlist so that it would play.
Oh yeah. It's on my, like, just throwback jams.
Hell yeah. That's so good.
It was meant to be. And so my mount that you can name, the company Chocobo, his name is I'm.
Ah, yes. I'm Blue Dabba-dee Dabba-da. Nice. Your process for creating your character was so different than mine. I spent an entire evening figuring out a name.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't know. And then I went on Pinterest and I was like, fantasy names. And then I went on the like Final Fantasy XIV name generator. And then I think I ended up coming up with it myself because I didn't like anything I found after like 5 hours.
It's hard, right? When you're kind of approaching this with the gravity of like, this is a character that I'm going to have a journey with. But since I test games a lot, I I hit random. I'm always like maxing out sliders. I'm like, I just go by vibes. To me, characters are not permanent. And I think that's something that I think is actually something you should celebrate, which is like you take a lot of care into designing these companions. Meanwhile, I'm like, hit the randomize. Let's see who comes up. They're going to be my buddy.
No, I love it. I think it's great. It makes me smile every time you log in. So
Blue Dabba has logged in.
Has logged in. It's excellent. I also play an Ara. I am also the tallest that you can possibly make a woman Ara, which is the shortest out of anybody ever in a dungeon or a raid or a trial.
We're always tiny except for the Lalafell.
Yeah. And her name's Rain. I have Fantasia into a Lalafell. It is so fun playing a Lalafell. It's so chaotic.
I'm so tempted. They're so
it's
little.
So chaotic. Well, you can get 2 free Fantasias in the game. So
That's true.
You could.
I'll think about it. I could change and then change back eventually. I like it. I like this one. They're just like chaos incarnate. They're just so small, like a little chaos, like dumpling.
Yeah. It's so great. And it's so fun playing a Lalafell. But I wanted to go back to one of your earlier points, which was, you can kind of tell that they're starting to hit their narrative stride.
Mm-hmm.
My perception of ARR now, and I loved ARR. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you just have to get through ARR and then it gets good. I was like, what's everyone talking about? I loved ARR. I loved the amount of world building that it did and just really, really setting the foundation and establishing who the characters are and the locations and politically understanding what's going on. It spends so much time. And I think some people would say to a fault, which I disagree with. It spends so much time on just world building. Like ARR to me is really just about world building. It's an introduction. It's, you, the adventurer, now becoming a hero towards the end. It's like, whoa, this is, it's great. I really enjoyed ARR. So
I also like it. I think it accomplishes 3 big things. I think the first thing it does is, like you said, it just situates you, right? You're situated in this country, this land that has like very clearly just like kind of healing from the scars of a battle and still figuring itself out in the aftermath, and like almost is like forgetting some stuff. Like in a lot of cutscenes, you see people being like, "Oh, okay, if you want to like play the history that way, sure." And then the second thing it does is it makes you feel these really strong emotions. Like there's a character death, like decently into the game. If you've played it, it's the character that gets like kicked and then dies. And I did not expect to feel so strongly. Or like, there's also like a point with Thancred, and I'm just like, oh, Thancred, oh, like I got so mad. I was like, you asshole. And then everybody who was listening to me play was like laughing because I guess Thancred comes up again. I don't know. We'll find out. But like I felt like it makes you feel so strongly. And then by doing those 2 things, it accomplishes like the main goal, which is like you're invested now. It gets you invested. I think it doesn't have to be, a blockbuster, but for a first story, it gets you invested, and that's what it needs to do.
I could not agree more. ARR had me so emotionally invested in the characters and the world and my Warrior of Light. And yeah, I 100% agree. And then they got you. Look, like Yoshi P can have my money every single month so that I can keep playing Final Fantasy XIV.
It's something that I agree with. I mean, I'm coming from playing mostly gacha games, a lot of mobile games, and you can pay nothing per month. You can pay as little as like $5 a month and get some daily rewards. But for me, I just felt like the gacha games were giving me such whiplash. Like I lost 3 50/50s in a row for the character that I wanted. And I was so sad. And so I was like, you know what, Yoshi P, if I pay you a flat fee every month and you continue to deliver this happiness to me, that is worth it. That is worth it to me.
I agree. If you're listening to this and you don't play Final Fantasy XIV, you should consider trying out the free trial.
I mean, you got nothing to lose except for however many gigabytes on your computer it'll take up.
Yeah. And also the hundreds and potentially thousands of hours that you will play this game.
But you'll make friends. Everybody's so nice. You will make a lot of friends. I don't know if that's like a good etiquette thing to do, but if somebody has like a goofy name, I like to add them as a friend. But I'm sure if you're named, what was it? Like Lord Cowboy, and getting a friend request from Blue Dabba-dee Dabba-da should not surprise you.
I agree.
I really hope Lord Cowboy does not hear this and then be like,
Lord Cowboy's listening right now.
No.
It really is. It is so special. It's such a special game. And I can't wait. I mean, even before you get to Heavensward, like you have an entire narrative that's pretty long in between ARR and Heavensward. And I'm so excited for you to play through that and to get...
I am too.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's some really good moments.
It's going to take me a little bit to get there because I discovered fishing and I love fishing.
Oh,
I know.
No.
Me and the ocean in any game, man. It's always calling me.
It always comes back to that.
It's true.
To be fair, ocean fishing is excellent.
I have such a good time on those expeditions. It's always a rush.
It's fun because you get to play with other characters, and then I get to go stalk people's glams. I'm like, oh, what are you wearing?
Yes. That's like half the point of this game is just like fashion show every day.
100%. The true end game.
It's so real.
It is.
Sometimes I find myself browsing the wiki to see what kind of clothes I could eventually get.
Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, Ren, I need to send you Eorzea collection, which it's an entire website dedicated to people posting their glams.
Oh.
I'll send it to you right now. I'm so sorry for the amount of hours that you're going to spend on this website.
Oh, no. Rip my free time. I'm going to click this link and you will never hear from me again. You'll have to text me at 11:55 every night and be like, teach me something. Pull me out.
It's so good. People come up with the most incredible outfits. Eorzea collection, great website. Highly recommend. Eorzea collection, if you're listening to this, please let me know.
I'm scrolling. I can already tell I'm going to be here a while.
It's a good one.
It's a very good website.
We're hitting the hour mark. So, yeah.
That did not feel like an hour. We were talking
really
about
didn't.
Elden Ring and onion rings. And
Do you have any final thoughts about FF14?
I would say I am really excited to join the community. I'm excited to take it slowly. This is one of those rare games where I'm like, I don't actually feel pressure to, finish the narrative, like keep moving through the game. It feels like somewhere I just drop in. I can chop down some trees. I can go fishing. I can get to know these characters, or I can level up my rank in the Grand Company, try and decorate my room. It's just like there's so many dimensions to it, and all of them are done really well. And I'm excited. I'm really glad to join the community and eventually hit the point where I'm giving 1 million gil to new players just for playing with me.
Yes. Oh, I love this so much. I'm so happy that you're playing FF14.
Yeah, thanks for inspiring me to download the free trial.
I'm so happy. It brings me so much joy. All right. Well, that's all we've got for today. Ren, thank you so much for being here. And for every listener, thank you so much for being here. If you have any feedback, please send it our way. Our socials will be in the description if you'd like to follow us. And if you're not currently following, please subscribe so that you don't miss a future episode. Ren, thank you again.
Thank you, as always, for having me. I love talking about games with you and hearing your thoughts.
Come back anytime.